past could be as exciting as this romance of the future.
Here they come.
May the Force be with you in Star Wars.
This will be a day long remembered.
You may fire when ready.
My name's Amiga.
20th Century Fox and George Lucas bring you
Hunter.
an adventure
Ricker?
unlike anything on your planet.
Crosshair. Tick. Hunter. My name's Amiga.
Star Wars.
Stop that ship. Blast them.
Red 5 standing by.
Oh my, I'd forgotten how space travel.
Here they come.
This is the way.
They're coming in too fast.
The story of a boy, a
Hey,
girl,
what's this
and
with
a
our chicken, man?
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
Oh, good for you!
Greetings, Exalted.
It's a big, sprawling space saga of rebellion and romance.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Oh, good for you!
There's nothing for me here now. I want to learn the ways of the Force and become a Jedi like my father.
I am a
It's
Jedi,
spectacle,
like my
years
father
ahead of
before
its
me.
time.
I'm just here to get Ray.
Where's Ray?
It's an epic of heroes
Good luck. Hit the accelerator.
and villains and aliens from 1,000 worlds.
Go that way. You'll be malfunctioning within a day, you nearsighted scrap pile.
You may fire when ready.
Star
This will
Wars.
be a day long
15
remembered.
years in the making.
The shroud of the dark side has fallen. Begun.
Dad Wars.
He's no Jedi.
I have a bad feeling about this.
What's the Boba coming out?
This is the way. This is the way.
You may fire
Dad
when ready.
Wars.
Getting crazy on the soundboard.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Welcome to Dad Wars.
HQ.
Yeah, this is the Saturday show on Sunday. That's gonna be hard to say, but yeah, we try to do a Saturday show, but so far we've only been able to really do them on Sundays. Look how Look at the energy in the room. Can you feel it? It's just electrifying. Look at that. Oh my gosh. The problem is it takes so long to set the show up that by the time we get everything set up,
Everybody's wiped out.
I'm not. I'm good to go. I'm on my second pot of coffee. Cheers. But you can't drink coffee, right?
I can.
What happens if you drink coffee?
Daddy,
Tell everybody what happens when you drink coffee as a kid.
you turned 25.
35. But the good news is you stay 35 if you keep drinking it. Little fun fact for you. So, we won't hold everybody up too long. We just wanted to check in and say hi to all our Star Wars friends and family out there and encourage everybody to like this video and subscribe. Please, we're trying to get traction. We're trying to create a family-friendly Star Wars community where we can get together and talk about Star Wars. And then we'll talk about Star Wars and probably a little bit about Star Wars. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
So do we want to dig right in? Like, what are we talking about today? We've had an exciting week of some finds and some things that arrived in the mail that I ordered. So just to give you a little background, in our weekly reckoning show with the dads that get together from all over the country. Okay, all right, we had a dad. Oh my God, this is going to be trouble. We had a dad, podcasting's Brock. He called in from Chicago. We have Dad Wars co-host Aaron. He calls in from Northern California. You and I are in the Northeast. And then our close friend Raymond dials in from...
I'm just here to get Ray.
Where's Ray? He's in Orlando.
Where's Ray?
And it's just a great collection of dads who talk about Star Wars. And we go deep dives. We talk about everything. We talk about the dark times of when there were no movies. I don't even want to get in too descriptive. It'll freak you out. But there was no Star Wars for a long time. Yeah, exactly. All right. So my point is, we were discussing in the last weekly. It's a real thing. But we have plenty of Star Wars thanks to Disney, right? And we'll be getting plenty of Star Wars from now until the end of time. But so me and the dads and I were talking about the work of J.W. Rinzler, and we talked about his books and the making of Star Wars and lots of things that he's authored. He was also he did blueprints for Star Wars. Okay. All right. So that got me thinking, do I have any...
Water?
No, not right now. We're live. We're doing it live. Are you going to come back?
Yes.
All right. You got 2 minutes. I'm counting. You never know what you're going to get when you work with kids and pets. All right. So we were talking about J.W. Rinzler, who unfortunately passed away at a really, what I feel, a young age, relatively speaking, tragically, to illness. However, he left behind a body of work that's incomparable, just the most detailed making ofs and works of Star Wars, if I'm even describing that accurately. So that got me thinking, what do I have? What do I own that's J.W. Rinzler? And I couldn't think of anything offhand because I don't have any of those great making of Star Wars books. For some reason, I was not buying that stuff then. But I did find this, and this is the Star Wars. I've been into comics my entire life, and that's something that's been a constant. I don't think I ever waned from purchasing comic books in some way or form, whether it's issues off the rack or trade paperbacks. And this is a really special item here. This is called The Star Wars. And if you notice, it looks like George, right? That guy, that character. So you could call this a reimagining of the Star Wars that we all know and love. But what it actually is J.W. Rinzler and a really good illustrator. Let's see. Mike Mayhew. I don't know if he's any relation to Peter Mayhew, the original Chewbacca. But this is the official adaptation of the original rough draft screenplay by George Lucas for what would become Star Wars. But the long ago and far away galaxy is like the one that you and I have seen in films. So John Rinzler took the screenplay and created he took the rough draft screenplay and they turned it into like a finished story. So it's an excellent read. It's a kind of mind bender because it's names in familiar places and phrases and names of creatures and characters and planets that you've seen in the official canon, but it's like this happened before that. Highly recommend. This is a hardback. I don't know if they make a softbound edition. I haven't taken terribly good care of this. It's just been boxed away for a while, but it's on my nightstand now with all my other to-dos. But this is called The Star Wars. It's really cool. So that's J.W. Rinzler. Let's see. So this is what I really wanted to get to. This is the sounds of Star Wars. After my show, Weekly Reckoning with the guys, with the dads, they were going through the list of things. And so I got on Amazon and I was like, let's see what's out there. Maybe I can pick up one of these early making of books, really comprehensive reads, and I really want to dig in. Of course, can't get enough Star Wars, but this one's called The Sound of Star Wars. And I'm especially fond of the sound effects in the film. I think the sound effects, without those sound effects, the movie would be the franchise, the canon, the mythology would be a third as good if it weren't for, it would be a third less quality if it weren't for the work of Ben Burtt, who was the sound designer and Foley artist, the lead. I should say he had some people working with him, but he was and also an editor who put together all those iconic sounds that we all know and we all love, and that just blend so well into the mythology of Star Wars and are such a integral part of that. So this book, this book is really what it is you get a really nice little, I wish it could have been a deeper dive, but it's great. But you get Ben Burtt's story, which I never knew. I've met Ben on one occasion when I was working at that Celebration 2 back in 2002. I had the good fortune of being with somebody who knew him, and so I got to go up and say hi. But so this book, J.W. Rinzler put together, has a foreword by Ben Burtt. Just a really nice, humble, and unassuming gentleman. He's such a nice guy, and he loves talking shop, and he loves talking about Star Wars. I think he still might love talking about Star Wars. But since he was just a little kid, he had a real fascination with sound. His father and his grandfather studied and collected bird sounds. So it's kind of in their family. They're educators, I believe, and so it's kind of in his blood, in his nature, to be fascinated by sound. And so one time he was sick, and his dad gave him a tape recorder. And what did he do? And he was watching movies on television. He just started recording the audio of the movies as a kid and collecting audio versions of movies. Isn't that neat? Now we have everything at our disposal. You can just queue up anything, listen to anything, see anything, record anything. These kids, they don't know. They don't know how good they have it, how easy everything is. So anyway, Eloise and I have been reading this the last few nights since it came in the mail. I bought a used copy. When I bought it, I'd say 3 weeks ago when I ordered this, it was really hard to find. I went on there today to add a link in the show description in case you wanted to get this, but you can buy it used fairly cheaply. But I wanted to get a really nice copy of this thing. So yeah, few chapters of Ben talking about the films that influenced him. It's really fascinating to learn the evolution of Foley design and sound design for film. And for years, the studios like Warner Brothers, Universal Pictures, they would just reuse the same sounds from the same library for decades and decades. And this did not settle well with Ben Burtt when it came time for him as he crossed paths with George Lucas at USC. Well, George was an alum of USC, so he found Ben, who was, I think, still there, or a mutual contact got them in touch. Anyway, yeah, you can read this for yourself. It's all on Wikipedia as well. I just found it so fascinating to get the backstory on this legendary sound designer. So the really cool thing about this book, let's see, who do we have? We've got one guest. That's amazing. All right, let's see. 1 second here. All right, what are they saying, Eloise?
Good. I can't.
That's no good.
Wait, what did they say?
I don't know.
Wait, let me see. Now.
Let's remove. And let's. Oh, we're still online. Okay, cool. All right. So let's see. All right. So the really cool thing about this book, right, Eloise, is once you get through the biography, which is so fascinating in and of itself, You get a little bit of George. We talk about, we get to hear about how George put together THX 1138 and how he did American Graffiti and how important sound was for him in film. Not just score, not just the music track, even though I think American Graffiti had like 90 hits from the 50s and 60s, something like that, which was an integral. It was like a sound-designed soundtrack within the movie. The music was actually a part of the movie. If you haven't seen American Graffiti, I definitely encourage you to check it out. But he worked with famous editor Walter Murch on designing the sound for this. Now, Walter was not available for Star Wars, unfortunately. But so that's when George called down to USC and said, hey, do you have a Walter Murch type character down there that could work with me on sound? And so they connected him with Ben Burtt. So I feel like the Star Wars as a film, you've got the visual, so you've got George. You've got the sound effects, so you've got Ben, and you've got the music, and who's that?
John Williams.
There you go. Those three pieces, they're like, you take any one of those three pieces out, and you don't have the legendary Star Wars. All right. So let's see. Oh yeah, Ben also, spoiler alert, he won an Academy Award a special Academy Award for his achievements in sound design, presented by Mark Hamill and 3PO and R2. So the sounds. Now the rest of the book, if you ever wanted to know where all of these sounds came from that Ben designed, with George's approval, by the way, nothing got past George. He was the arbiter of everything that came through in terms of visual and sound. So his tastes superseded everything else. So, for example, the Rebel Blockade Runner, it's the first sound effect we hear in the movie. Do you know how that was designed? Do you want to play that sound for us?
Wait, which one is it?
The Blockade Runner, the Corellian Corvette. Speaking of sound, Mommy's washing dishes up there, so all I hear is water. Yeah, hit it. Let's hear it. Now, what does that sound like to you?
I don't know.
So, Bert says it's a slowed-down World War II prop-driven racing airplane. He took the audio track of a racing airplane and slowed it down, and then he got rid of all the high-pitched elements in the prop engine. And then there's a bit of a 747 that he recorded down at LAX. So somewhere out there, there's a well, it's probably decommissioned now, but an old 747 commercial airliner that was the sound for Star Wars. So the rest of the book has, I think we have like 250 different sounds, but let's just pick a random one. What do you think? Let's just go with Cantina's really interesting, right? All right, Eloise, dial up number 29. Let's see what we get.
How do I do it?
You see that?
I don't know. I don't know how to do it.
You just click up and down like this. Turn it on, then go up. Like that. All right.
Now I press the middle.
We know that sound quite well, don't we? All right. So then you go to 29. Are they going to give us... Well, they've already told us. Oh, something that's back in the biography when Ben's talking about making the original Star Wars, it seemed he said he put the most time into Chewie and R2-D2 in terms of getting that sound. And R2 seemed to be such a feat, a technical feat, a technical achievement. It was a really hard one to do, apparently. All right, let's just go to... I'm just going to pick something random here. Oh, we know who that is. That's Ponda Baba, right?
That's Wallace Man, right?
That's right, yeah. So let's see. Let's do a quick. Oh, Greedo's in here too. Go to Let's see. Yeah, I like the Cantina one the best because you get to learn about all the aliens and where all those sounds came from. Also, any droids you hear in the movie that are not R2, the original trilogy at least, those were sounds Ben came up with for R2 that didn't pass the cut. That didn't make the cut for R2, so they used them for other droids. I found out. All right, hit that one. Punch it.
This one?
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, let's learn about Greedo here. All right. So Greedo's sing-song face-off with Solo was a hit with Lucas and all the editors. Pretty soon, everyone was greeting each other in the editing room with the phrase, "Kunta chulu Solo? Kunta chula chuta Solo." I've had scattered reports over the years of people in very far places hearing a phrase that they recognize deep in the soundtrack of Star Wars, says Burtt. Someone in Ecuador studying Huttese carefully told me that he heard Greedo say to Han something like, he loved Han's big blue eyes. Now that one scared me. Han's blaster. Let's see. Just pick some more random sounds. Let's see if we can find out what they are. Is that Han's blaster?
Yeah, I like that one. You know what that one is, Dada?
That sounds like the Falcon. Wait. Oh, is that a Jawa? No. What is that? What? Oh, that's the hologram, the holochess pieces. What did you think of that?
That was silly. That's the lightsaber, of course. That's a lightsaber, of course.
Yeah. Now that's a fascinating one. What number is that?
That's
Oh, the training remote. With this blast shield down, how am I supposed to fight? Something like that. I can't see a thing. Anyway, I need more coffee. All right. Oh. Play the Han Solo dialogue. I want to read the caption. Play that one. You got it. You just had it. Number 52. Number 52.
I can't get it.
Oh, it won't play 52?
No.
I always sound a little bit sleepy here. All right, let's see.
All right, I'm going to pick another random one. What's that?
That's 55. All right. 52. At some point during his forays into studio archives and general research, Burtt acquired a few sounds from the vintage Warner Brothers sound effects library, including some from cartoons. Throughout the sextet of Star Wars films at the time, audio from the collection occasionally pops up. One of the first sounds can be heard in the whoosh of the little training remote that pesters Luke, which is actually an old cartoon sound that was used when characters whooshed off screen in a hurry. A vocalization combined with a cymbal ring from sound effects master Treg Brown.
Did I do the right sound for that?
Oh, that's talking about the training remote, but it's in Han Solo's section there. I think that's a typo. That's interesting. All right, so now you've seen this most excellent
book.
And you've heard it too. So I highly recommend. I saw a copy. I saw a copy of this used on Amazon. I linked to Amazon in the show description. So for $13, probably free shipping too. Who knows? But I would recommend you guys get this for yourself or for your kids. And one more thing. Let's do one more fun factoid with about Ben Burtt before we sign off. You want to?
I'm trying to get to that number.
Oh, 158. It's Chief Chirpa. Go ahead. Let's see if you can get there. I can take a break here.
Just gotta keep going up.
No, you just keep hitting that to dial up. The middle button is the play button, and the button on the right is the up button. Yeah, there you go. So while we wait for Eloise to get to number 158, hope you guys will like this video and subscribe and turn on notifications, because we're going to be doing it live tonight as well. We'll do the weekly reckoning with the dads from around the country, all the coasts. The left coast, the right coast, the middle coast. Is there a coast? There's no coast in the middle. That's why I could never live in the Midwest. I need a coast. You got it? 158? Punch it.
No, I got 140.
Say hi to Gavin. Gavin's online right now.
Hello.
Hey, Gavin. Happy Sunday. We are listening to the sound effects of Ben Burtt. The legendary Ben Burtt. The Academy Award winner. What number you got there? Let's keep this thing moving.
153.
Okay. You want to go back?
No.
Okay, go up. You've got 5 more to go. She's dialing in. All right, 158. Hit it. This might be a good time to admit to everyone that I love the Ewoks, and I don't care what anybody says. My grandfather took me to see Return of the Jedi at the Tri-City Mall in Rutherfordton, North Carolina. And I had the time of my life. I loved that. That was one of my favorite movie experiences ever. Grandpa Howard, Grandma Faye's husband, my grandpa, took me to see that. I think I was 8 or 9. But I love the movie. Never had anything against the Ewoks. We even watched Return of the Jedi, a couple weeks ago? We rewatched it together.
Yeah.
Love it. Love the opening. That's the best first act ever. That's one of my favorite films. Oh, we gotta talk to 9 Numb here. Can you go to 160? 160.
I can't. It's not doing anything.
Well, let's see. You have to play the left button is to go down, the right button is to go up, and then when you have the one you want, you hit the middle button to play. What's he saying? You gotta love 9 Numb. All right, let's just real quickly. All right, so 9 Numb dialogue. Another new language in Jedi was Sullustan. Yeah. As spoken by Lando Calrissian's co-pilot 9 Numb. As they navigate the Falcon through the second Death Star, Burt found his Numb through Pat Welsh, who led Burt to a college exchange student she knew named Kipsang Rodich. Hold on 1 second. Rodich was from Kenya and spoke excellent English as well as his native tongue of Haya. I recorded him telling folk stories and acting out little mini-dramas, Burt says. As he had several times before, Burt also wrote out 9 Numb's lines in English and then had Rodich speak them in Haya as he pretended to be a commander leading his troops. For security and practical reasons, none of the people who voiced characters saw any footage from the film. When you're dealing with people who don't loop every day, if you showed them a picture and had a track and they had something to say, it would be too much for them. Laurel Ledvick explains, people like Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, and Mark Hamill are familiar with looping. When they go on the stage, it doesn't intimidate them to see a great big picture of themselves. So looping meaning after they've shot the film, they go in the studio. Usually the practical sound that's recorded on set is reference audio, and a lot of times there's so much noise on the set, the actors have to go into the sound booth and re-record those lines and look up on the screen and see themselves and try to sync it perfectly. Sync it better than the show's synced for sure. Yes, honey, which one do you want to play next? Yep, and then we have to wrap it up. Mommy's been, shout out to Mommy as always for the Saturday show on Sunday. She's letting us play together while the little ones are, who knows what they're doing to the house. Here, we're going to get this all worked out,
Daddy,
I promise.
Can I press this now?
What number is it?
It's 162.
Hit it. What was that? You got to give me better than that. What was that?
I don't know.
Hold on, let's see. We can look it up. This book is so much fun. Highly recommend. Oh, that was Ewok on a glider. No wonder it was such a subtle sound.
163.
All right, yeah, maybe we'll end on that one. All right, so everyone's not a big fan of Chewie's Tarzan yell in Return of the Jedi, but let's figure out how did they pull that off. So Chewie's Tarzan yell was really just a joke, Bert said. He does grab a vine during the battle and swing Tarzan-like to land atop a walker. I couldn't help but take the opportunity to see if I could fashion a Tarzan yell from Chewie's standard bear vocals to mimic the famous Johnny Weissmuller call. Johnny Weissmuller being the film version of Tarzan back in the 30s, 40s?
I'm gonna press
40s?
160.
Sound editor Teresa Ecton, who cut Chewie on Jedi, struggled to match the classic yell by cutting Chewie's vocals together to match the pitch. It seems impossible to me. By those analog standards. But the whole sound crew got a big laugh out of it. It never was played very clearly in the final mix with all the other sounds and music, but we had fun. Yeah, I wish they buried it a little bit more in the music and the sounds. I think it's a little too much. That's just me. But again, I love Return of the Jedi. Let's be clear. Ooh, we know what that is. That's an ATST Walker, right? All-terrain scout trooper. Scout transport. Sorry. And even in the book, they call it the chicken walk cycle. Chicken walker walk cycle. All right. So anyway, highly recommend The Sounds of Star Wars. Again, I left a Amazon link in the description for today's show. Pick it up. There's lots of used copies out there in varying states of condition. New is very expensive. I bought a like new. Or maybe it's just even a very good, but I know we're going to get a lot of fun use out of this book. So I had one more surprise I wanted to share, a sound effect that is ubiquitous in modern Hollywood filmmaking. You've heard it. Everyone's heard it at least once or twice or 3 times or a dozen times in their lives. Doesn't matter what you watch, cartoons, commercials, trilogies. You know, ready? Do you know what I'm talking about here?
I think so.
All right, we are talking about, let's see if I can get it to even come up here. We're going to listen to the Wilhelm Scream.
Yes!
We even used the Wilhelm Scream in the opening to this show. That's how much I love this sound effect. So, let's describe it really quickly. The Wilhelm Scream is a sound effect that is used, and this is something that kind of goes against Ben Burtt's credo in that he, for Star Wars and for all the Star Wars films, he and George wanted everything to be new, not like it sounded new, but they didn't want to pull into the libraries from all the old studios, 20th Century Fox, Universal, Warner Brothers Pictures. Those were all those canned sounds that were used for years and years in all these films and television shows. They wanted everything to be a new sound effect, something that people hadn't heard before. And they also wanted to lean towards organic. They didn't want old 50s sci-fi stuff. So, anyway, but going against that, Ben found an old scream, and he needed a scream for an action sequence in Star Wars. And so he dug up, you know what, I'm going to let
that sound
I'm going to let it play, but I want to talk it up a little bit so people know exactly what they're listening for here, what's happening here. Let me pull this browser up real quick. That's what happens when you do it live. You see behind the scenes here. All right, the Wilhelm scream. I'll just give you the first little bit of this. I love this. This is such a fun... It used to be a really fun piece of trivia, but now everybody knows about Wilhelm scream. But if you don't, listen. All right, so the Wilhelm scream is a stock sound effect that has been used in a number of films and TV series beginning in 1951 with the film Distant Drums, which is a Western. The scream is usually used when someone is shot, falls from a great height, or is thrown from an explosion. The sound is named after Private Wilhelm, a character in The Charge at Feather River, a 1953 Western, in which the character gets shot in the thigh with an arrow. This was its first use following its inclusion in the Warner Brothers stock sound library, which I mentioned earlier, although The Charge at Feather River is believed to have been the third film to use the effect. The scream is believed to be voiced by actor Sheb Wooley, but that's not 100% confirmed, which makes it kind of mysterious. So the Wilhelm scream originates from a series of sound effects recorded for the 1951 movie Distant Drums. In a film, the soldiers are wading through a swamp in the Everglades, and one of them is bitten and dragged underwater by an alligator. The screams for that scene and other scenes in the movie were recorded...
Oh my God.
What's the matter? Hold on, we're going to get to it. Hold on. Were recorded later in a single take. The recording was entitled "Man Getting Bit by an Alligator and He Screamed." The fifth take of the scream was used for the soldier and the alligator scene. The fifth take, which later became known as the iconic Wilhelm scream, was probably voiced by actor Sheb Wooley. All right. So let's listen to the original Wilhelm scream by itself, isolated. Ready? Let's play it again. So believe it or not, probably anyone who ever watches this this video of ours has heard this, whether they know it or not. So I pulled in a montage that's been on YouTube for years, and which could be updated, and maybe someone's updated, maybe I'll update it if I ever get the time. But it's still used. I hear it every year in a movie. So let's look at an old montage of the Wilhelm scream. Shall we?
Yes, we shall.
Wilhelm! Yeah, I'll just fill my pipe.
Watch out, Wilhelm.
What is that?
It's an ant, a giant ant. Those old 50s sci-fi movies scare me. I used to watch them on Sundays. Oh, here we go. Right?
I forgot that you said.
Oh, yeah. Right? Did you realize the Wilhelm scream was used in so many things?
No.
And we're only in the 90s. This is 30 years ago.
Oh my God.
And I should have warned everyone, once you hear this, you can't unhear it, and you will hear it. It's used in every Star Wars movie and television show. I don't know if it's been in The Mandalorian, but I would lay odds it is. It's definitely in Rebels, probably a few times. Clone Wars. You see, basically, if your sound effects gets mixed at ILM or Lucas Sound, or Skywalker sound, you can pretty much guarantee you're going to have a Wilhelm scream in your movie. Yeah, this is an old... I remember looking at this montage years ago. You haven't seen any of these movies. Well, the Star Wars movies, but here we go.
What is this?
You know what that is.
No, I don't.
The Phantom Menace.
Well, I forgot. I couldn't see it that well.
Yeah, so that montage only went up to the Phantom Menace, but next time we hear it, we're watching a movie, even like a Pixar movie. Yeah, all the Pixar movies. It's probably in every Toy Story movie. Right? Pretty exciting. Anyway, that's the kind of stuff I love. So again, thank you guys for joining us for our Saturday show on Sunday. And I hope if you do stumble upon this video that you will like and subscribe. This one needs a nap. We haven't even done anything today. Are you tired from watching Disney nature shows this morning? That wore you out, huh?
Nope.
Was it the third breakfast that wore you out?
Nope.
It's just boring. Is the show just boring for you?
No.
Oh, thank you. Good answer.
This is the way.
Okay, so anything else? What do we get? Let's tease for next Saturday's show on Sunday. What do we want to do next weekend?
I do not know.
We have at least one Lego set to put together.
Wait, what?
Love this. We have people are never gonna watch. We have Boba Fett's helmet to put together.
Oh, right.
And we're heading to Target, so who knows what other surprises might be in store.
Who knows what could be in the Lego section at Star Wars or, Marvels or whatever, because I love Marvels.
You do?
Yes.
Oh, let's take a side trip. What Marvels stuff do you like? What are you into right now? Let it be known that Eloise has not seen much Marvel stuff yet, because I think it's a little bit more mature. And
I can let you know what the Star Wars movies I watched. I mean Marvel movies. I watched Captain America, Captain Marvel, Iron Man.
Yeah.
Those are the movies I've watched.
And we're watching them in chronological order, right?
Yeah.
Because it just makes sense that way. They weren't made in chronological order, but that's the way we're watching them. And it's only appropriate to watch Captain America, the first Avenger, first, right?
Yeah.
Even though dads out there and moms know Iron Man started the whole thing for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Shout out to Jon Favreau for that and for everything else he's been doing over the years. Can't get enough. All right, anything else before we wrap up? Tell people to like and subscribe. And we hope you guys will join us in the chat. We're going to do a Dad Wars Weekly Reckoning tonight with my fellow dads. We'll be...
Aaron and Ray.
Yeah, we'll talk to Aaron and Ray tonight, and hopefully some more special guests. And Mommy just texted me, and she says we got to wrap it up. All right, we are headed out to do some family stuff. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And again, check out the other content on Dad Wars. We also have Dad Wars, the podcast, on Apple Music, Spotify. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, we're there, and we hope to connect with you guys. And again, we will have dialogue. We will talk. We need story ideas. Write us at thedadwars@gmail.com with any story ideas.
Daddy.
Yes. I'm trying to build an audience here,
I wonder if Siri knows what Dad Wars is.
She will, if she doesn't already. Google knows.
Google! Oh my God.
See, the thing is, I could just sit here all day and talk about Star Wars. Right?
I'm going to tell Mommy that Google knows what Dad Wars is.
Yeah. We're getting some
All right, bye-bye. I'm heading out.
All right. All right, everybody. We have to sign off with the good sign off here. Hold on. We're going to leave with some good karma, right?
May the Force be with you.
All right, everybody. Bye.